Hey, hi, howdy everyone. Welcome back to another episode. This one I have to give a little disclaimer to. I am sitting in the trunk of my car recording because I am on a solo camping trip. And as I speak these words, I am wiping my face of sweat. But another disclaimer here. Alyssa has decided to record this episode in a cave. Yes. So the audio, it isn't okay. All right. The audio is not great, but because the content is so good, you're going to have to suck it up, all right? You're going to be okay, but I apologize in advance for that piece of the episode. And without further ado, let's get into one of the coolest people I know on the internet.
Hi guys, my name is Alyssa Moorhead. I'm so excited to be on Laura's podcast today. I have been a business owner for 11 years, dabbling in everything around sales. So from freelance marketing to marketing agency to sales coach to sales consultant, and basically learned that I just want to do sales and not teach people about sales. So what I'm really focused on right now and have been for some time is Instagram stories to DM sales and cutting the sales calls. So I'm so excited to talk about Instagram stories with Laura today.
Yay! Okay, I tell everyone to go listen to your podcast about Instagram stories because I'm like, if you just like stop posting stuff on Instagram and just do stories, I'm confused. So
yeah,
I'm ready.
Was talking to people, like I always think it's so strange when people only have reels up on their feed. Like you're so good at making like carousels and posts and reels and a combination, but anyone who knows me or watches anything about what I do or listens to this podcast is going to know that I'm like an outdoors nature diehard. And we just moved to Denver 6 weeks ago, so I just don't want to be on the computer making carousels. So I'm kind of on the same track. I think I'm just going to make 1-minute reels and Instagram stories like the whole summer long.
Yeah, I'm kind of, personally, I'm like, I don't want to say I'm putting in less effort because in some ways I it's really more effort, but in terms of creating reels, I'm like, it doesn't have to be this like beautiful amazing thing. Here I am talking about this thing I know about.
Yeah,
that's all you get from me.
Yeah, I feel like you do really good reels where I need a reels editor who, like, I'm not a patient woman. I cannot reels it.
No, to catch myself in 4K, I have somebody else edit my shit because I hate doing it. Yeah, I agree. It's the actual worst part. And I wish that like my feed was the most aesthetic, beautiful thing you've ever seen. Sure, but it doesn't need to be. So it's not.
Yeah.
But I know we're gonna yap so much about Instagram stories. And I don't even, because I've consumed so much information from you about Instagram stories, I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. I think I want you to tell us like, why should we be using them? We should be focusing on them a little bit more than like making another reel for our feed.
I've done Instagram stories for, I don't know, 8-10 years, as long as we could. It is my number one point of sale always, meaning it's the last thing people look at before they buy. When they're making a buying decision and someone is like, well, I've worked with someone for lead gen before and it didn't work. How fast can I get results? Will it be weird if someone else is in my messages? I'll make like nurture content for someone in like my buying process that answers those questions because other people have them too. But first of all, Instagram stories, I mean, if you're going to be on Instagram, you just got to get over having your face on video. And people ask me a million questions about it, like, what does my hair look like? I have a pimple, I have a cold sore. Like, truly no one gives a shit. You need to just show up for your audience. And people are going to see your face when they work with you. Like, if someone works with Laura, they probably will be on Zoom at some point. So they might as well see you talking to them before they pay you. So it's easier to talk to you, like they're going to talk to you after they pay you. The second piece is that people, for whatever reason, want to supplement reels for stories. And Instagram stories are literally the first thing you see. And the way that like Instagram algorithm works, which I really don't know anything about, but the way that the algorithm works, people are like, if people are watching your stories, they're going to show it to more of your audience as the first thing they see. So they don't even have to go to your stories. If they open Instagram, it's the top thing up there. But reels give you about 1 minute for an ideal reel. And for me, as I explained to a leads client yesterday, Reels are an intro to a topic, or like imagine like a train with stops on the train, like a series of little bits of a big topic you want to talk about, like not doing sales calls or Instagram stories. And your reels can introduce people to a topic or give like, a sassy take or point on a one-off topic. But Instagram stories, you have like 5 to 7 minutes to go in. I cannot tell a client story in 1 minute on a reel, but I can in 5 to 7 minutes if I'm pretty efficient in my Instagram stories. So it works if you work it, but you do have to do like face to camera Instagram stories, and it does need to be pretty consistent. And then women just bemoan to me that, I don't want to add another blah, blah, blah platform. You're already on Instagram because I'm talking to you there. Instagram stories should take you 5 minutes a day. So if you can't make 5 minutes a day for your incoming clients, then I wouldn't pay you because people won't give me 5 minutes.
I literally every day, Alyssa, in my head is you saying, you literally don't have 5 minutes to do your Instagram stories. That's what I hear in my head. And every day I'm like, shut up and do it. So that's so helpful because last week I was kind of on vacation and I was like, I have 5 minutes. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
A lot of the best Instagram stories are like the idea I have in the shower, or when my cat wakes me up at 3 a.m. to drink out of the shower, or like looking at geese. Like Laura knows I make so many like analogies between geese and business, and Laura loves the geese.
I hate it.
But the most inspired ideas, if you can take 5 minutes to make it, that passion is going to come through. I know we're going to talk some about what not to do on Instagram stories. I have clients that write scripts. And again, if Laura was my client and we're on a client call, I'm not going to read from a script because I can have a conversation. I can have a conversation with myself. I've been doing it since I was 2 years old. So you just want to share the way that you would talk to someone who asked you a question. Somebody told me that my stories feel like FaceTime because I never wear makeup or a bra and always like a t-shirt. And that's what I want. I want people to know the real me, and the real me is not scripted. Mm-hmm. Most of you aren't talking from a script most of your days. So anyways, I know we're going to talk about what not to do because we've got thoughts.
Okay, what should we not be doing on Instagram stories besides not reading from a script, because that's silly. We can all talk about things that we know.
Yeah, so first of all, not having them is an issue. I actually have subconsciously learned that people who make Instagram stories are more cognizant and committed to checking their messages. So if I want to talk to someone to hire them, or if I want to talk to them to collaborate, or if I want to talk to them as a potential client, I'm looking for people making Instagram stories because it means they're showing up for their audience and they're probably on Instagram and will check their messages. And other people are doing the same. Other people are looking for you to make consistent content. Again, we're not at make 3 reels a day or post 4 times a day like 2016. It takes 5 minutes. So not having them near daily would be my first thing. 5 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. Also, I'll say as a note, Instagram stories do really well on the weekend. I closed sales last weekend on Saturday and Sunday. People have more time to watch and message, even if they're not going to have an elongated conversation with you on the weekend. Maybe they are. Our client was at the water park with her kids when she was deciding if she wanted to sign or not on Saturday of last weekend. But if you can't do 5 during the week, 4 or 5 5-minute Instagram story segments, you could do the weekend too, and you probably will see better view and response rates. The second thing would be face-to-camera video means face-to-camera video. You talking to the video. That there's no other way around it. You doing the dishes is B-roll. You posting your feet walking the dog is also B-roll. Your face making words. I promise it's not that complicated. Everyone thinks they're terrible at it, and you're a business owner. If you can hold a conversation, then you can make 5 minutes of Instagram stories. We're just giving ourselves excuses. in my opinion. Number 3 would be titles. This is probably one of the most missed by people doing consistent Instagram stories. And this is what Laura brought up of like, tell them what you're going to tell them. Like, I do want to know that Laura is going to give me a point in the stories. Like, this is like judge a book by its cover. Like, what are you going to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
If I was speaking on a stage, I'd have a title for my presentation. If I wrote a book, I'd have a title. If I wrote an essay, an article, a blog, I'd have a title. So put a title on them. And then the last couple of points, which we can get into more, would be your Instagram stories need to have content about your business. And like, again, you walking the dog and like posting your like exercise wins from your smartwatch is like not it either, unless you're a fitness influencer. Like, that's different. But it needs to have content on your business, and I'll give some ideas for it. And then the second biggest missed thing would be not looking at your Instagram stories viewers, reaching out to people, and tracking your leads. We have a free lead tracker Google Sheet that people can have if they wanted to. But that would be a big one. If anybody looks at I know from my clients, like our lead gen clients, when we're in their Instagram stories, because we look at their stories viewers, I know from which like page it's last set on in Instagram metrics. When you like go into your Instagram stories, you can either see your metrics of how many people viewed it, was it followers or new followers, or you can switch tabs and just see the people that watched. And I would just look at the people that watched, and most people aren't doing that. Like, literally, if you're selling something from $1,000 up, your metrics have no bearing on sales at all. If you have 10 people and there's 2 or 3 potential leads in there, you could make sales. If you have, most of the time my Instagram stories are 30 viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I learned all this jazz in this episode from Alyssa, my stories were not it. I didn't know what to post on my stories. I did not know. And what she has helped me realize is I just should talk about the projects I'm working on. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And it has given me results. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. Every time I open my Instagram, I have messages from people who are like, I want to work with you. What does it look like to work with you? What are your prices for this thing? So I've also learned from her, if you talk about nothing else than just the work that you do and the results you've gotten people, you will be booked and busy.
But 5, 10, 15 of them might be leads, and I'm looking at the viewers each day. So like, forget the numbers. Those would be the tips.
Okay, amazing. Okay, I love this. Okay, so what we're talking about on stories is always going to be related to the offers that we're selling. Does that feel right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
There's a lot of ways to approach it, though. We're not in 2020 days when people were making like Canva slides of the deliverables of their offer. I don't see many people doing it anymore, but again, you're just hiding. And me talking about the deliverables is always going to be more engaging to a potential lead than like giving you them written out. It's helpful, but I would put that in your feed. It doesn't perform that well on stories, but if you're going to put like a static slide or picture with text on it, I would do like face to camera video first, and then have that be like a post-it note in your stories for people where they're like a text-based visual learner, where they want to be able to read and not just listen. Like, that's helpful to give the information in multiple formats. But yeah, we don't just need to be like making slides on the offer. We have to find ways that feel like good for us to talk about what we do.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say we're posting our stories and we're looking at the people who have watched, and we keep seeing the same suspects coming up in the watches, and they are potential leads, they are potential clients. And do you want to explain to us what you do with these prime suspects you see when they are watching your stories?
I like that you're calling them suspects. There was a long time where I would tell people, like, I caught you in my Instagram stories, which was supposed to mean, like, good to see you there, but sounded vaguely, more than vaguely accusatory.
Like, get out. What are you doing here?
There's also people that are like, Mikkel was like, well, I know you caught me in your Instagram stories, so I'm probably on your lead tracker now. And I was like, well, now you are, because you've self-identified yourself as the lead. So, like, now you're that. There. Before we talk about viewers, too, there was, like, a good thread on Threads this morning talking about, like, outreach. And I think most women don't want to do outbound DMing. Like, we have been intrinsically taught, shown, experienced a whole shit show of cold DM pitches. I still get them every day. So, in lieu of that, if part of your lead gen strategy can be pulling in inbound leads, you're going to have a lot easier time, which is what people think that they're doing through but the stories are going to massively expedite it. So really quick before viewers, a couple of like frequent topics, which I also have a podcast on, a couple of frequent topics for Instagram stories that like pull in inbound leads. Laura is good at this, as well as a lot of your clients. Like, day in the life does really well. It's really like varied media format. They see the camera on you, they see the camera on your dogs, on your camping stories, like those do really, really well. So day in the life, or like behind the scenes of what you're doing for your business and your life. The second one would be client stories, which I always explain as like a Disney arc. So if we think of like home is one that's in my mind. But if we think of like, where did the character being your ideal client, like where did they start? What was their problem? Why did they pick you at that time to help with it? What did you do? What did they say about it? What do you say about it? It really is an arc. You're telling a story with specific points of like, they came to me because of this, we did this, here's what both of us have to say about it. The third one would be pulling shit in real time from the conversations people are actively having. So that's my Instagram stories up today. All of these women are talking about outbound DM outreach, but they don't know what to say and they haven't done it before and they think they can do it once a week, which isn't enough. So I'm pulling inspiration based on the questions and challenges people are having, like this morning. That's number 3. And then the fourth one, which most people don't do, is why should I buy this now or later? And the answer can be, don't buy it now. Like a large amount of clients over the last 11 years, I told them, you're not ready yet. You should go do this. Come back after you've done it. And they love that. And they do come back because I wasn't just trying to take your money. But who is in the right position now to work with you and who isn't? What do they need to have in place? What do they need to have achieved? What specific goals do they need to have? There are people that we just had up for re-signing that told me, like, I won't be able to make Instagram stories for the next 6 weeks. And they shouldn't be ideal clients. And I let them go because we need that to do our work together. So those would be my 4, like day in the life or behind the scenes of your business, client stories with the Disney arc, questions, challenges, conversations from threads, DMs, sales calls, team calls, and then why should they work with you now versus later? I know that was a tangent, but it's a pretty
No, that was so good. You've just given us a year's worth of stories. I mean, all you have to do is repeat that shit over and over, and that's all. That's it.
You can just keep repeating like the same topics. You don't need to think of something new. If you've had 3 clients or 5 clients or 10 clients, you have enough content for like the rest of the summer. Like just talk about, I mean, you could talk about the story of each. I also like to talk about stories like in tandem, like here's what Mikkel, Sabrina, and Andrea have in common and how we helped each of them and the questions they asked before they worked together. Like I'll go back to my DM conversations where people decide to sign and screenshot the questions they asked. I think I'm ready, but what about this? Okay, I understand that. What about this last question or two? And then I'll use those for future content. But like, for real, if you've ever had a client or ever had a business conversation, or ever looked at business conversations on Threads, Facebook, Threads is such an easy place. Networking calls, masterminds, group program membership, like, you've got what you need. You just need to write it down and then.
Totally. That's so exciting. I love it because you're making it like it can be pretty simple. It's not anything great. It just feels like so tangible, and it's like, oh my gosh. And there's people who are responding, or there's people who like, I don't know, it's just like fun. It's easy, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I started doing this. Like, I like to do the whole work smarter, work harder thing. I made my business runnable on my phone, and Instagram stories included. I picked Instagram stories because it was easy, and then I got better and better at it. But also, it's not like no one's scoring you. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like. I know people who like edit the ums out like a podcast, or record it and edit on their phone, or like take a shower and put on makeup and then record, like change their shirt 5 times. Like, you're working too hard. Like, try to make it a little easier on yourself. It's a lot more fun too when you make money from it. Then it gets like even more fun.
So fun. Becomes so fun.
What are your favorite Instagram stories to make? Because you've been practicing.
I have been practicing. That's a good question. I think that I do like to make stories that are like, this is what I'm working on, because I think I work on cool stuff that I don't talk about enough. So that's kind of one of my goals for this month, actually, is to talk more about what I'm actually doing. Because like, when you go into the day-to-day of your work and life, it just can become so like normal to you, but really it is pretty interesting and cool. Like, I'm writing these YouTube scripts for an influencer, and we're like 4 years into this project. I'm like, I should probably like let people know that I'm doing that. That's pretty cool.
You have like so many facets of your business too. Like, you'll never run out of things to talk about, and like marrying together like the client story and their goals and like the medium through which you're accomplishing it. Like, I feel like people think they need to talk about their like line items for their contract, but really we just need to talk about like, what is your offer doing for people and how are we doing it?
Yeah, and I think about what you've said before all the time. Whenever I'm like wanting to go make a story and I don't know, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say. And now you've just given me like a year's worth of things to talk about. But I think about like, okay, if I just shared my results I was getting people or testimonials, then like that would be it. Like, that would be enough. So I think about that a lot too.
All right, the Instagram stories viewers part is super, super important.
My favorite part.
I mean, most people aren't doing this. Like, my clients making solid money aren't doing this. And this is like a surprise to most people who actually want less stories viewers than more. Because again, like, I don't want to work that hard. And my stories that do the best are like yesterday when I was wearing my husband's t-shirt and pajama pants, like making coffee, talking about how I still sort of felt like shit and couldn't do like 2 times 2. The stories where like I don't look my best and am like complaining about hard shit, those do the best. But then I woke up this morning and we had like 76 stories viewers, and I usually have like 30, and my husband's trying to like show me EDM concerts on the phone in bed, and I'm trying to go through all of these stories viewers, and like it's more work. So you actually want less and people that are more engaged, and you do need to get people to your stories, or it's not so much worth doing them. Threads is a really great place to like engage with people and then follow them on Threads, follow them on Instagram, start a conversation, and without fail, they're going to look at your Instagram stories first, like always, if they're up there. Networking, memberships. Our podcast producer, Marie of Cocktails and Clothes, has a really good networking group for not too expensive. But networking, Threads, and your own audience are really great places to like engage with people and get them to your stories. Then you don't have to like sell to them so much one-on-one in the DMs, because your stories should be selling for you for like 24 hours while people are watching them. So that would be number one, that like less stories viewers. Like I've had about 30 for like maybe 30 to 40 if I'm optimistic for like the last 4 months, and I'm still hitting my income goals and can make more money when I want to. So less can be better. Most people aren't looking at the stories viewers. I would just start a conversation with people based on the topics that you're talking about in the Instagram stories, as well as anything you relate to on their feed. Like I can usually find something I relate to in the first 3, 6, 9 posts. And I'll actually, like most people don't do this either, I'll actually DM them their own post or reel and talk about what they were talking about. Or if they have stories up, I'll also like comment back on, like do a stories reply on what they're talking about. So that should be like a conversation starter, is something that you guys have in common, or something that you're interested in, or something you talked about in your Instagram stories. And if you want to like start a conversation of how your offer can help someone, you need to start talking about it. It's a lot less awkward for, if I'm talking about Instagram stories, on my Instagram stories, and Carol asked me like, oh, I've been trying to make stories, but I don't know what to say without being salesy. Like, she just started a conversation I want to have. She cut the time down. She self-qualified her interests. She told me what her goals are in like one stories reply, because I put up with the conversations I want to have in my Instagram stories. So we can have those. That's a really good starting point, especially shit that like people don't want to publicly talk about. Like most people aren't shouting about like, I don't have enough leads. We have a lot of lead gen clients that do operations. Most women aren't like, my ops suck. We just like missed a payment because we didn't send an invoice. Like if you can bring up the struggles people are having in situations like that, not just like, if you need ops support, no. Like how is the ops support affecting you? Maybe I can't get my emails done because I don't have Laura. Maybe I sent them every 3 months to the whole audience and it should be segmented. Maybe I haven't looked at my stories viewers for a month and I need Alyssa. Like if I can bring up situations that are like symptomatic, how their problems are showing themselves in their life, the situational works really well to pull people in, because it sounds like what they're saying, because it probably is what they're saying on Threads or in a networking group or in a mastermind. So that would be like, we have a 5-step DM flow. That would be number one. You want to like find a place of like common ground. The second thing is we'll ask people about their like goals, and then third would be like, how's it going getting there? Like I do want to know, like WTF is somebody working on their business for the summer. They might think it's salesy. Honestly, business is business. You're going to know if you're my business bestie or if you're someone I want to work with. I'll also tell people, hey, I think you would be a really good fit. I'd love to work with you on this and the other based on those goals. Is that something you'd be interested in? Like at its heart, I'm offering support to someone who might need it. That is business. That's what it is. Like, I mean, we're just like taught and shown all these like shitty ways to sell, and a million people tell you to do different things, but you're offering support to people who need that support. Like that's the crux of it. So number one would be like building rapport over some common ground. Number two would be figuring out what your goals are and if there's ways that like you can align on them. Number three would be like, how's the journey going to get to those goals? If it's something you can help with, I'll ask for consent to make an offer to them. And then number five would be telling them that offer, and I'll be really like transparent about, I don't have to go through that whole flow a lot of the time because people are seeing my Instagram stories and it's moving them down that funnel on their own, because I'm talking about the results I have, the results clients have. I'm showing who I am. So I like developing rapport with them in that way. I'm talking about my clients' goals. I'm talking about the struggles they have to get there. I'm talking about how we get there together. By that point, they're like, oh, I like her. She can help with these goals. She helps people with challenges that I have. I think I want this. I'm going to tell her. So they've moved themselves down the buyer's journey.
Wow. Okay. I love this so much. Okay, yes. And then these people are going in your lead tracker, which we mentioned. Alyssa, we'll put a link to it in the show notes, but this is basically Alyssa's shit. And does it ever, like, I think where I'm at right now is I'm going through, I have like a nurture sheet. Okay, I'm not calling everybody lead yet because I'm like, these are people who I would love to work with. I need to nurture their little booties.
Yeah.
And that list can get pretty long. So now I'm like, uh-oh, I'm scrolling through this tab. There's a kind of a lot of people here. Now I have to go, like, I think I'm constant. I was talking to my VA about this, Glenn, who's the best. And I was like, I don't have a great answer here. And I think that all the time we're like looking for shortcuts for things. And sometimes there's just not a shortcut. Like, the work itself is actually looking through this list and actually manually going and having conversations with these people. Like, I think that is the answer. But my little system brain is like, oh, I bet I could figure it. I'm like, no, I actually just don't think that there is right now a fancy, beautiful way to do that. So I'm just doing things manually, which, yeah, takes time, but like, it kind of works.
I haven't found in 11 years a lead tracking system outside of a project management tool that worked the way I wanted. So like, I'll tell people, anywhere you like to make spreadsheets, if that's Google Sheets, if it's Excel, if it's Notion, Trello, Airtable, Monday, ClickUp, Asana, all of those have a spreadsheet feature where you can list people's names, you can list their Instagram handle, you can list notes of what you're talking about and when you last talked to them. That's really enough. You want to know who it is, where you're talking to them, and what you're talking about. Most people don't do this either. On the event of having a lot of people in the tracker, first of all, go Laura. We love to hear that you are using it and have a lot of people in there. Second of all, yeah, I mean, the lead tracker is going to grow. So there's lots of different ways you can like classify. I'll put people as like hot, warm, cold. Laura and I talked about this in the DMs too. For me, hot is like an active negotiation or an active conversation about the offer in the DMs. So if someone's saying like, I have this goal, I want your help with it, how would you do it, when could I start, what's the cost, are there payment plans, when will I see this close, that's like a discussion about my offer. They go in hot. If they're asking, like if they're telling me a lot about their goals and their challenges getting there, like I'd love to have somebody for lead gen, but I'm traveling the whole summer. I don't know if I can give them what they need. I've had someone do this before, it didn't work out. How could anybody else do it differently? Those people go in warm because they're warming up to like, they have these goals, they're cognizant of them. Could I help with that? Cold for me is usually people that aren't responding as quickly as I would like, or tell me they're traveling and they'll come back later. Somebody told me the other day, and I love her for this, but she was like, I'm not great at checking DMs, maybe keep an eye on me. And I'm probably not going to. People who want my help, it's top of mind. I have people watching my Instagram stories. This is another reason I cut sales calls. I have people who I did 1 or 2 sales calls with that have been watching my Instagram stories for upwards of 8 months that have come back 5 times and told me they're ready. Like, I just ethically and transparently don't have time. There's a lot of other people who want help this month, next month, the month after that. I have to prioritize the people that are ready and then go through the rest. But I would try to categorize by like hot, warm, and cold. Even if like hot for you or first to contact is the people you want the most. Like, these are my dream clients. Maybe they're not hot or warm yet, but I really would like to work with them. So I'm going to make sure that I don't miss them. The other thing I'll say before I forget to say it, so I've talked about like cutting sales calls. I could go way into that, but Instagram stories to DM sales work. It works. It works a lot better for me. It works anything from like $500 or $600 up to like $16,000 we've closed through DM sales. So I don't like the sales calls so much, especially in the summer, but really I'm just over it in general. And the thing that I've done since January 15th, so like however many months that is, 5-6 months, something like that. The thing I've done as I grew was I wanted to take this amount of clients. I wanted at one point like 10 clients. And so I made a plan. If I want 10 clients, then I need to take 1 or 2 for the next 2 months each week to fill those spots. And that didn't mean it was all I could take. That didn't mean I couldn't sell more. That didn't mean my income was going to break if I didn't fill a spot. It did mean I want 10 clients and here's a plan to get it. So to stop those people from telling me they need 1 week, 2 weeks, 8 months to make a decision, I would tell them, I'll say what I would say. So we start 1 or 2 new clients each Tuesday. If you're looking to start with us on, the next Tuesday available, we have to have you onboarded about 1 week before. So my team and I can set you up to get going on that coming Tuesday. And I'll tell people usually 2 or 3. Like right now, we have June 22nd filled, but we have like the 29th and the 13th or something like that open. So I'll tell people those spots and I'll tell them that they are filling and they would need to make a decision shortly if they want it and give our onboarding materials by a week before. Those are finite deadlines. And somebody who's not ready yet will tell me like, I think I'll come back in a month. And that's totally fine. But still, when you come back in a month, if you do, then this is going to be our availability. That's really helpful. Like, it's really helpful to give people deadlines in direct messages. So I would try that too. I know we've all seen like spots left. But the truth is, Laura probably can't take 17 clients on Monday.
It would wreck me. It would wreck me.
There's been periods where we're onboarding like 3 or 4 at once and I wanted to die. Like, it's a mess. So in order to give my clients the best experience, I have to know my bandwidth and my teams and provide them like, a manageable start date. So that's really helpful in the DMs too. I know we've talked for a while. What do you want to say about Instagram stories? I'm like saying a million things.
No, you're the freaking guest. It's not.
Thank you.
This is not my show.
You're so good at it too.
I'm only good at it because I listen to what you say. I don't know shit about this. I literally do what you say.
Okay.
The only thing I'm not good at is that I don't know what to do, or the CTAs, okay? So I've said my shit. I've said I could talk for hours about XYZ thing. Amazing. And then I'm like, hey, I said it. See you later. I freeze.
We want to give people some action. I learned this a while ago and I'm not super business jargony, but I think it's helpful to remember. Call to action to people, again, from what we've seen in the business world, is usually buy my shit, buy my thing. Well, spots are open before tomorrow at 8:47 a.m. That's a lot of what it becomes. What's a little different than that would be call to benefits, which is usually what I offer people. So instead of telling them to do some sales action, you could give them a podcast that continues on that topic, which you do. You could also give them a free mini offer, which is what I did this morning, DM me Tuesday for one new Instagram stories idea. And that starts a conversation because it shows that their goals are something I can help with. It's a good jumping off point. Another one would be just you can use polls and asking people where are you at with this topic? I know you talk about emails, YouTube, like, where are you at in terms of like emails? Have you recently sent an email to a segment of your list? Do you have segments set up? When was the last time you sent an email? So polls can get people to self-identify where they're at on the goal that you can help with, but it also does give pretty solid data on where your audience is. If I want to talk about like how to segment your email list, but most of my audience hasn't sent an email in 6 months, 6 weeks, I need to back up, right? Because most of the people watching are in a different spot than I thought they would be. But calls to benefits, like giving another piece of content, a carousel, a reel, a podcast, a YouTube, that's a good one. So is like a mini offer, like DM me this and I will give you, 1 5-minute tidbit that can help you out. Or you can like poll your audience to see where a large majority of them are and follow up with the people that you think, you would be a good fit to help. You definitely don't want to like sign off and say nothing and just go away, but you don't have to hard sell. We can just offer people a value add. I'm not super duper get on my email list all the time, but it's good too. I just would vary I would just vary like what you ask people at the end, because anytime you move people from platform to platform, you've added a step. So if you're in my DMs talking to me and I send you to my email list, I've like effectively discontinued the conversation. I'll put people on my email list or call for that in my Instagram stories when I know I have a large portion of people that aren't ready. Then I'll funnel them, but like over to the email list. But I don't want to miss them if they're ready to buy. But that's for me. If most of Laura's warm lead sales are coming from her email list, then she should be sending them to her email list. Like that's got to be customized for what you're looking for. But yeah, we don't want to just like sign off and not say goodbye and here's some other thing that can help you. But hopefully those ideas will be helpful and you don't just have to say like buy my thing at the end. The other thing you can do is like poll people on what kind of topics they want you to talk about of these 3 choices and tell them, okay, you guys, said you wanted this the most. Tomorrow we're going to do that. So make sure you come back. That works too. You're just giving more value where you're already giving value. Like if you started on someone's email sequence and you're showing, how they came in, what they're doing for it. And then you say like, come back tomorrow to see the final email. Come back next week to see how the first email performed. Like you're bringing them into the trajectory of the journey.
Ah, this is so exciting. It makes me want to I could just go and like batch. Have you ever batched stories? Like done a bunch ahead of time? Oh my God, you're rolling your eyes. Everyone listening, she's rolling her eyes. Why?
No, I mean, you should if it works for you. Whatever's going to get you doing them, you should do. I'm just like, I have ADHD and bipolar 2 disorder. So, like, I just do whatever I want in the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. I create space in my, like, content and creativity to do that. So, like, I have a list of, like, 53 ideas that could be reels or stories, like, written down. And I'll just, like, toss them around based on whichever one I like the most. But also, like, this morning when I catch a Threads conversation that's active of people looking for answers on a topic, I'm going to talk about that first because it's the most relevant. It's like the very most pertinent thing, and then go through the rest. I already have stuff batch recorded that kind of like isn't, quite as possible, but you could still like pick something that's relevant for today and show those the next day. But yeah, whatever is going to get you doing it. I will say about Instagram stories, I feel like they were originally made to capture the story of your day. So there is something to be said for it like happening in real time. Like people do feel more intimacy with you when they're like following you through your day versus like a carousel where they posted it 3 days ago, 10 days ago, because you're here today. You're here living while that person is living, and you can tell them what you're up to, and they do feel like closer to you because they're with you in that moment. Kind of like an Instagram live, but I don't do those anymore. I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
This is so good. Is there anything else you need to yell about Instagram stories? At us, to us, for us. It's okay if not. This is amazing.
Definitely try for like busy, like summer months to be making them at least like 4 days a week for 5 minutes each. Anybody who needs ideas, like I can look at your content and give you 5 ideas for the week in 5 minutes at the most. So you can DM me for ideas. If you promise to look at your stories, viewers have DM conversations and track them in your lead tracker. I'm at the point that I'm going to start asking people for like screenshots of their lead tracker. Like, prove to me that you have people in there. It's like our girl Megan Wall being like forget your bank account, like show me your profit and loss. Like I want to see the important shit to see that you know what you're doing. And same with lead tracking. Like we have clients where they're like, there are leads in the DMs, and I'm like, who's in there? When did you last talk to them? What's their status? What are you talking about? Like Sarah, who you talked to 9 months ago on a different account, we don't have a lot of context there for the conversation. So I'll definitely give Instagram stories ideas to people that will make them have conversations and then track the leads. And Laura brought up a really important point too. Like everyone is a human being and is just a person before they're a lead. Or as my creative director, Emily, would say from 2020, I don't want to just DM randos. All of my clients were randos until they weren't. They were all just human women with businesses until they became a lead. If you're not having the conversations, you're missing all of the potential of the leads and the clients. But the Instagram stories can draw people in and get you inbound DMs. And then if you carry those conversations on and those steps to be helpful, then, you get to see if they're interested in you or not. But yeah, we can definitely link the lead tracker and we can link the podcast with the 5-step DM sales flow.
Yeah.
Watch.
Absolutely. Wowie. My mind is blown. I love Instagram stories so much. I'm obsessed with oh my God, okay, soon, I posted one yesterday around this time, and so I'm like, I gotta run over there and make sure I look at who watched before it goes away. Yeah, so.
I think now you can see your stories viewers 48 hours later. I feel like it was if you go to your archive, you have to go to your archive, past content, and you can see it. But again, it is kind of ephemeral of the moment. I would try to catch people in the 24 hours where you have their interest. There's a whole lot going on in the world. If they're around Instagram within that day, I would try to get back to them. And I'm the pot calling the kettle black. I'm so bad at this. I have 100 unread DMs that I'm trying to get through fastidiously, every day. But right now, a lot of people might not see their DMs. Or answer them for 3 days, 5 days, 2 weeks, especially if they're traveling with their children in a different country, or Marie going to 15 countries. It might take them a little while to get back, but if you can try to catch them in that day, yeah, it'll go well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, this is so good. You have me so excited. And I can't wait for people to listen to this. And everybody's going to shut up and they're going to go do their Instagram stories and they're going to be happy about it.
Yeah, if you need ideas, come ask me, and then tag Laura and I in your stories and we can give feedback or ideas on them. But I'd love to see, and also I shout out a lot of people on my page if they want to be. I have cultivated an audience of people that spend money, so I like sharing other people that my audience can buy from because I have that privilege to do so.
Well, thank you for enduring this cave-like audio. Alyssa is someone who I've learned from and then implemented immediately and seen results. I'm not even kidding. So if you do nothing else the rest of this year, please get on Instagram stories. It makes the rest of your content not even that important. Yes, I said what I said. So I can't thank Alyssa enough for sharing all of her expertise. This was a masterclass. I was just asking her question, and so I'm not kidding. I need you to please head on over to her podcast, The DM Sales Gal. I listen to every single episode that comes out. She's always in my ear telling me what to do to close deals and make more money on Instagram, and I am obsessed. So if you want to see examples of how to crush it on Instagram stories, she obviously has her own all of the time. So in the show notes, you will find a link to her Instagram where you can follow her and check out what she is doing. But until then, happy creating, go get on your stories, and I'll see you soon.
I've had people that wanted to buy a $100 membership. I DM'd them from my Instagram stories. We kept talking in the DMs while I was making stories. She paid me $16,000. That's the power of Instagram stories. If your Instagram stories and your Instagram DMs aren't bringing you 16K hot and steamy leads, and you're not exactly at the sales goal you want to be at for this quarter, I've got you. Hey sales friends, I'm Alyssa, your cheap sales gal. I've been in business for 11 years and I currently run a done-for-you lead generation and lead management agency with Instagram DMs. We work with female founders, with service-based agencies, as well as coaching programs. It could be one-on-one coaching, it could be a group program, it could be a mastermind, a mini-mind, a mixer-mind. Call it whatever entrepreneurial thing you want to. The founders that I work with are at $15,000 to $50,000 months and are looking to continue scaling, make lots and lots of sales in the DMs, and help lots and lots of women. So me and my 4-woman sales team will get into your Instagram DMs every single day. We find new leads, we'll talk to new leads, we'll talk to the leads you have, and then we'll either close sales in the DMs or book sales calls for you to complete. I'm about to show you guys all of the juicy sales things on Instagram stories to get new leads, and closing sales in the DMs and with sales calls. So let's get into all of the juicy details.